No chains, no rules, no safe words. This is Unbounded with Christopher Allen.
And welcome to the Unbounded podcast. This is the podcast with no chains, no rules, no safe words. I am your host, Christopher Allen. I feel like we've got a pretty packed studio here today. We have...
Claustrophobic.
Yeah, we've got my main man, AJ. We got his prodigal son,
Back again.
Adrian, in the building.
Back again.
Yep, back
Once again.
Mm-hmm. And I swear I wish this was on video because audio just don't do it justice what we're looking at right now. Just a beauty queen in her own right.
Hey girl, hey!
Yes, the one and only Bree is finally in the studio. Can I
Looking thicker than an SUV bumper.
Happy to be here.
Hey. So we are talking about... I got so excited. I done forgot what we was talking about already. That quick.
Is the friend zone
Is the friend zone real? Oh my gosh.
Great question.
That is a great question. And I wanted to wait till we had a female perspective because I didn't want to do this with just a male perspective because I can hear all you females right now. Oh my God, like, why didn't you have a girl that talked like there's so many things that you didn't even cover? So I got your freaking female, okay? So we're
Rest
good.
easy, sit down, listen up.
She gonna hold it down for the sisters.
You know, and again, please, once you hear this, we only ask for two things. Number one, hear it all the way through, beginning to end, because it's about to be non-stop action like old school TNA.
So my question is, I'm gonna direct it to you first because I feel like you've never been put in the friend zone.
Well, I feel like you don't know me very well, do you?
I feel like you wriggle your way out somehow, some way. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey.
The exact moment that I realized he might not ever be able to be put in the friend zone.
Well, let me just say this, man. There's superior people in this world, and there's myself. It's kind of hard to put myself in any sort of a box because in honor of the late great R.I.P. Roddy Piper, just when you think you've got all the answers, I changed the questions.
There you go.
Well then.
Right?
Look at you. Stuck on your own podcast. Don't know what to say next. Don't know where he's going with it, guys. I got him. Hashtag got him.
I feel like I believe the friend zone is totally real.
Absolutely.
110%. 110%.
And ladies, this is a lady that's saying it. I know that you don't speak for every single lady on planet Earth.
I sure don't. I speak for this one. Just Bree. Only me.
Because here's the thing. I've heard a number of women who kind of get emotionally triggered by this. When I say, oh, I got friend zoned by someone. And the first thing y'all want to say is, well, you're not entitled to sex. Well, nobody said anything about being entitled to sex. That's not, to me, at least, that's not what it's about. Here's my scenario. If I come at Bree, and I'm like, yo, girl, like, I'm feeling you, for real. And she's like, mofo, I know. She's
the pleasure is all yours.
The pleasure, exactly.
Why, thank you.
Like, have you seen me?
Come on.
And she's like, nah, Chris, I'm just feeling like a friend thing. Okay. Me, I'm going to be like, I bet. To me, that's friend zoned. It's not necessarily a problem. It doesn't mean that I'm the scum of the earth. Bree and I are friends. We have a great time. It's a wonderful life. I couldn't imagine,
Life without Bree?
No, I couldn't imagine life without Bree.
As your friend?
And now that I've gone through
in
life,
theaters 2022. Life without Bree.
Dun 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 dun.
Rated R.
It will absolutely be rated R. You will see titties, I'm sure.
And spoiler alert, they will be mine.
Hold on, what? That's a terrible spoiler alert.
Hey, hold up. Hey, Adrian said it. He's like, hold up, wait, what?
Real spoiler alert, they won't be mine.
Well, that's gonna be an empty theater for that movie premiere. Because if I ain't seeing the titties,
don't see titties.
if I ain't seeing the titties, I just can't show them. I got a hair appointment that day.
Exactly. It's just my biggest pet peeve about the friend zone is just like, if you put me in the friend zone and say we are just compatible as friends, because a lot of times females, and you could probably speak to this, there's a guy, he's awesome, he treats you with respect, and you know, maybe you're emotionally damaged from past crap relationships, and he's like, oh my god, like, why can't I find a dude that's like you? But yet you don't want that dude who he is. That's what's always confused me. Oh, Chris, I wish I could find a guy like you. Girl, you know I am a guy like me. I am me.
That's not a fact.
Hold up. Time out. Has Bree ever said that to Chris?
Bree has never said that, but other women literally have said that to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's other women. Because other women are afraid to admit that they are shallow. They're afraid to let their guard down and be like, yeah, I'm a bitch and I don't think you're fucking cute. Like, that's just who I am. That's what I'm going to say.
I would rather you just say that.
And that's why you and I have freaking enjoyed the friend zone, because we're great fucking friends.
Yep. Well, if I may, let's back up for a second for the people out there. Let's just say this is their first time on the Unbounded.
Okay.
And let's just say this
it's really Unbounded.
This may very well be their first time
and
experiencing
like, whoa. What am I listening to?
What we call the friend zone. Let me just throw this in general question out there, and it's really a toss up for whoever grab it. But is there a definition of or description to say what is the friend zone? Like, is it literally just saying that, hey, we're friends, or is there like, you know, is it, because if it is, then it's like, well, how do you know when you've been friend zoned?
I feel like, okay, and I will try to give as specific an answer as I can without giving, you know, any names. But if I am doing, okay, if XYZ female tells me, hey, I'm looking for ABCD in a guy, I know that my personality and characteristics embody ABCD. Mm-hmm. I feel like essentially boyfriend, sex buddy, whatever, is an application for a job. That is a job that you are going to perform for that female. If I am qualified, if my resume is qualified, and you told me I'm qualified, don't sit there and then turn around and then hire the mofo who's totally unqualified just because whatever reason. I don't know. Like,
those would be
that's
E, F,
friend zone.
G, and H that they didn't tell you about
True
at your
then
original
you
interview.
need to fully
True story.
disclose what you're looking for in a candidate at the interview.
So I'm sorry.
Otherwise, you need, this is the first time I ever have to edit myself, you need to fuck off.
So
Yo, I couldn't help it.
so
Maybe it's the drink I'm getting.
Hey, Bree needs a beer.
So the friend
Yeah,
zone
we drinking. So what? So
it's his show. He the boss. He make the rules. He said casual every day.
that's why I like having my own show. I run it. I can do what I want.
So okay, you know, you're looking for a candidate A, B, C, D, and then all of a sudden whatever. Like, my personal opinion is that if XYZ female comes to you, guy, or you know what, XYZ male comes to you, female, and says, hey, I'm looking for a person of either the same sex or opposite sex that's A, B, C, D. If they come to you and tell you that, then at that moment, prior to that conversation, you did not know it, and it's not fair to you, XYZ, but you just got put in the friend zone. Like, they literally just friend zoned you right then. Because I can guarantee you the only reason that they are telling you about what they're looking for is because they knew in their mind that you already met those qualifications.
Okay. And so then, when I realize I've met those qualifications and I go to make a move, like, don't act crazy about it. Like, oh, no, I don't want to ruin our friendship.
Yeah, which goes back.
Oh, that pisses me off.
Which goes back to you just got friend zoned. Like, you got friend zoned before you knew you were in the friend zone.
Exactly. Before I even knew there was a zone to friend.
Yeah.
But my thing about it is people who were like, well, Chris, I don't want to date you because I don't want to ruin the friendship. Number one, you're already assuming that our relationship is going to crash and burn. That already upsets me. Mm-hmm. Number two, whenever relationships do make it to the altar, almost all the time in the vows, they're crying and they're like, oh my God, they're looking at each other lovingly in their eyes and they're like, I'm so glad I'm marrying my best friend.
But that, hold up.
So if you're going to get there ultimately, why not be friends?
Okay.
Because what woman
defense
truly doesn't really want that? Because let's rewind just a little bit. Because ladies, I know it's not as often maybe as men are placed in the friend zone, but how many ladies out there have also felt that they too have been put in the friend zone and had A, B, C, D, E qualifications?
Oh, Miss Clifton.
Yes,
Miss Clifton.
It does happen.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing. It is absolutely.
I guess I'm ignorant. I must be ignorant.
Because guess what? Guess what? Every man has a specific type of woman that they like. They'll make exceptions.
Yeah, a good
they
one.
will make exceptions because they want to get laid, of course. But there are some men that just, at least for me personally,
# freaky girls.
At least personally for me, they have looked at me and looked the other fucking way. But they're like, man, you're a cool bitch. Like, we can be friends.
They're wrong.
Friend zone is real for both males and females.
Okay.
And any other sexuality that you care to explore, at one point in your life, you're gonna get friend zoned.
So here's the debate. Because
I didn't know women went through that.
Because now we're looking at it in the sense that men and women both get friend zoned, and I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying there aren't a couple females out there that are mad at me right now because they in the friend zone, but you know. Hey!
Yeah. From a son's perspective, I can name about 5 off the top of my head.
In the friend zone. Yeah, in the friend zone. I don't. Whoa!
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Because we live, baby. We live.
Hold on. We about to get Unbounded in now? We totally get Unbounded in.
Let me ask you this. No, I need a pockets. Why is it? Why did you friend zone him? Why you doing?
Why did I friend zone AJ? Well,
because nobody friend zones him. He's AJ.
Come on, look at him. I should have my own theme music.
You do.
I am not nobody. When you say nobody friend zones AJ.
You did what?
I don't know. There's just, I mean, like I said, I think I mentioned earlier, I'm a bit shallow, and so are so many people. They just don't want to admit it because they're afraid of what people will think of them. Hell, I'm a shallow bitch, and if I am not attracted to you, friend zone.
Hey, and that is a fair and that's
I'ma still love
fair
you.
Statement.
And we can be good fucking friends.
That's a fair statement because
real true
because
friends.
I will look her in her face and tell her she's thicker than pancake batter, but at the same time, I understand that. I understand, you know, if you're not attracted, if you're not attracted to something, and again, I might get most, but I don't get them all. You know, I'm not Ash Ketchum, so I ain't gotta catch them all.
Don't nobody get them all. Nobody.
But, you know, the thing that separates this particular female here from most females is the fact that she will come out and say, "I'm not attracted to you." Most guys, and if I can speak from a male perspective, most guys get pissed off about being in the friend zone because 9 times out of 10, they don't know they've been friend zoned. It's just, it's something you don't find out. It's something you don't find out until you actually go to make that move.
To shoot your shot.
And it's like everything else could be running smooth as silk. You could be doing everything that you could do everything wholly with this individual. That y'all can share the same bed. Y'all can go on dates. Y'all can hang out. Y'all can kiss and all that other stuff, whatever. And they will still look at you as a friend from their perspective. But
no.
Trust me, I've seen it. I haven't personally embarked in it because, again,
what did you just say?
I'm shooting my shot. You give me any
You've experienced
clearance,
that?
I'm shooting that
Is
shot.
that what you
must
said?
be outside your mind. I'm going all the way in for mine. But I have seen it where, you can get to that point and they will look at you as just a friend when you go to shoot your shot.
But you let me get this far?
Exactly.
It's because, would you like to know why? It's
Yes,
because
please.
bitches be hungry and they want them free meals.
Yes.
No.
And they know that they can justify those free meals without giving you the cookie.
Now, but again,
Y'all are wrong and dirty for that.
Y'all, them, not me.
No copyright intended. But
That's
to
dirty.
shout out one of my favorite YouTubers today, Clayton Thomas, CT. I like to get the cookie till the cookie get got. But at the same time, these are not. We not talking about a sense like where middle school kids like my youngest here.
I'm in high school now.
High schoolers like my freshman son here. We are talking about grown men and grown women who are doing these high school things where it's like, hey, yeah, I want the meal, but I don't want to give you the cookie. Then just say that. Because then you really know who it is that you're dealing with. Because if it's as a dude, if I'm asking you, a female, friend or not, if I'm asking you, hey, you look amazing. I would love to take you out for a meal. If you tell me yes, then that's what my
green light.
That's what my expectation is, to take you on that meal.
Green light.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, listen. I'm grown. I'm a grown ass man. So if I'm gonna come to you and say, hey, listen, I want to take you out. After that, we can go back to your place, mine, and we can slide to the bedroom or the couch, wherever you want to go, and we can see what's shaking. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. But if a person is telling you that, here's my question then, because this is where a lot of guys tend to get friend zoned at in the beginning. Because when you ask a female to take her out, in her mind, somewhere, she's automatically going to say, oh, well, he just wants sex.
No, hold up.
I agree with you.
Okay? So, now, you got two men, of course, who agree, but you are a female. So, please, give us insight on the female perspective.
Okay, so, not to say names, but recently, I hung out with a mutual friend, and we all partied together, we had a good time, and he crashed at my place, not with me, in the spare room. And the next day, I cooked breakfast for the fam, and he did the dishes. So I noticed, but at this point, he had already been friend zoned because the attraction is not there, and I'm not going to portray something or make you believe that you're something that I don't see in you. So after he left, he asked me out on a date, and I legit said to him, look, I was like, I think you're a great guy, and I think you're going to make someone extremely happy someday, but I know that that's not going to be me. Okay. And I was like, I appreciate that. I said, I really hope that you and I can still be friends, because I think you're a good person, and I am also a decent human being, and I mean, we all need friends, whether they're male, whether they're female. We all need friends in our lives to help us get through the shitty times. And sometimes you will benefit so much more from being friend zoned with anyone, be it male or female, than you would trying to date them and it ending so badly that you never even speak or see or want to hear that person's name again.
It can happen. It legitimately can happen.
Now, so my question is this. And fellas, this might be a learning tool for y'all. So any fellas out there listening, please turn me up on this one. When he asked you on a date and you respectfully declined, did he ask why?
Well, I don't think he had a reason to ask why, because I made it pretty clear that there was no interest to get to know someone in that fashion as opposed to the other fashion. And in fact, venturing out and seeing what's there, in quotation, when you know that it's something that you would have to actually spark within yourself. So if a lot of people are like, okay, what do I have to lose? Well, when you look at it at that standpoint, especially if you're not physically attracted to someone, you have a lot to lose, because not only are you lowering what you want in life, you're lowering your standards in life, okay? But you're also hurting the other person, in which case when you friend zone someone, you want them to stay in the friend zone. You value them as a friend, because there's a whole big difference in friend zone and just straight shutting somebody the fuck down. Like, ooh, fuck you, get the fuck out of my face.
Damn.
I respect you. I think you're a cool person. We're not going to date, but I think you'd be a valuable friend. I mean, it's kind of shitty. It is. But which end of the spectrum would you want to be on? If you can't, in fact, date, sleep with, whatever, would you rather not see that person ever again in your life, which that happens, or do you really value their friendship and you're happy for them and you value their opinion as a human being? You know? And then, in which case, which is something that Chris has spoken to me before about, when you see said friend that you placed in the friend zone, do not get mad, do not get upset, do not get jealous when the person that you put in the friend zone finds someone that they mesh with and neither one of them are friend zone. You can't be that human.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I am totally okay, especially nowadays. I didn't used to be so okay with it, but nowadays, if you friend zone me, fine, because I'm more confident than I used to be. So say, okay, fine. I can't make you happy for whatever reason. It's not going to work out. There's somebody else. 7 billion people on planet Earth, but somebody gonna let me make them happy. And when you see me with that person, don't you dog dare come at me talking about some, oh my God, I wish I could find somebody like you. Like, I threw myself at you like a baseball in the major leagues. What is you doing, baby?
Ew. Don't be that person.
What do you mean,
male,
don't be that
female,
person?
trans, the one that comes at you after you done been friend zoned.
Oh, I thought you like,
and you move on and be happy.
Right.
Hashtag stop hating.
Y'all quit drinking that haterade for real.
Exactly.
My question then is this.
Adrian, have you ever been friend zoned?
Oh, God, that's
Too many.
better question. Oh! Better question.
See, but on the bonus of being friend zone,
He's 14, by the way.
Only 14.
you can use that as a learning experience. For example,
Yes.
don't spend money on a female until you get the signs. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh!
Keep right with your pocket.
From the adolescent life lessons, okay?
Yes. I know that was probably a lot of loud noise just there, but it was worth it. Oh my God, you were so right.
Don't spend the money until you get the signs.
And see, then it's like female, but then the flip side of that is females are like, oh, do you not care about me? Like, you should earn me. You should be willing to spend whatever it takes to earn me.
Time out. This is where the adolescent comes in, because we can feed you the signs all day and still turn it down. Still get that meal.
And that's because for women, men are like buses.
One go, next 15, one coming. Hey, listen, but I mean, and that's very true. Now, I know somebody out there, because I'm sitting here and I'm with these people. I can literally touch them in my vicinity right now. And I understand fully what they're talking about. But for those who don't jump on this podcast today. Don't get in the comments about, well, what are the signs? Well, how do you know that? That will be covered in future topics. Trust and believe me, I want to jump on that one too.
So pay attention.
So keep listening for future podcasts, because we will cover those signs.
And we will give you all the signs you need to know the answers.
And if you still get the signs and she still friend zoned you,
nigga, you ugly.
You got to let that one go.
That's my thing. If I get friend zoned, I just assume she think I'm ugly. That's my first thought. That's what I know. And look, real talk. Like, you want behind the scenes info? Yeah, I shot my shot at Bree at one point in time, and she was honest about it. She was like, "Listen, I'm just feeling a friends thing. You coolish. I don't know what, but I'm just not feeling like that." I said, all right, cool. And her and I are great friends to this day. I love her to death. Couldn't imagine life without her.
Like you too.
If you're going to friend zone somebody, that's how you need to do it, in my opinion. Don't lead
dignity.
Dignity. Don't lead me
Ladies,
on.
dignity.
The real behind the scenes is when he shot his shot, he used a pea shooter.
That's hateful.
That's
so
I mean,
Why?
right.
Why?
We gonna
Why?
edit that out. I'm
No,
sorry.
You know what?
See.
That's why your ass got friend zone too.
Hey, listen.
Oh!
The thing about the difference between me being friend zoned and
What's the
most other
difference?
people
Come
being
on,
friend zoned.
because you so much better than everybody else.
No, I'm not better than nobody.
And that's another podcast where we talk
We can
about
do a podcast all about me.
that's a podcast where we talk about when does confidence become like narcissism.
And I'll be the feature.
Yeah, that'll be something.
The reason I'm comfortable in the friend zone is because, again, where a lot of people differ, and this is where a lot of people have issues with being quote unquote friend zoned, they aren't comfortable with they self
Facts.
before they go to shoot their shot at somebody else. Like, me, myself, personally, I walk into every situation and I grew up with the mentality of getting as many no's in life as possible. Because once you get all of your collected no's together, the only thing left is yes.
False.
Let me tell you something. We'll talk off air about that. But, yeah, so I can go shoot. Listen here. I'm not going to name no names, but it's a certain young lady out here right now, to this day. I got a clip full ready to shoot the shots.
Ooh, I think I know who that is.
I got a clip full.
But I think I know who that is.
But
Everybody got
ain't
that
shooting
one
nothing.
somebody.
Because again, I'm comfortable enough in myself to be to myself and really watch a situation. Watch for those signs. In a situation. Then oh, man, you didn't know we're gonna have a musical segment on the next podcast.
Wait for that one. Y'all ain't ready.
But
See, this is why Bree's a catch.
yeah, then I just then,
Not only is she beautiful, she can sing you to sleep
I
quick.
So can
Analyze
feed you
the
to
signs.
sleep, feed you to sleep.
Right.
Other stuff takes to sleep. We unbounded, but not that unbounded. Not but yeah,
Hey, I mean, I was told that this sounds like a sex show because it's no chains, no rules, no safe words.
I
That's
like
it.
chains though. What the
I
fuck?
know you do.
yeah.
I don't know that. I just guessed.
It's a good guess, Chris. Good guess.
They're like, oh, you dirty,
Oh,
dirty.
you wish you could know though.
But you know,
Oh, with the 14-year-old.
You're the 14-year-old behind. That was
Yo,
awesome.
I love this kid, okay?
My little homie. I'm telling
that's
you.
like, hey, that's
Come
like
find
my
me
right
in
hand.
10 years. Promise you won't get friend zoned.
That's
Boy, he
my-
just like Adrian's like, bet.
It's like 10 years. You say? Let me put this in my calendar.
Yeah, he doing it. He like 10 years.
Set a timer for 10 years.
Alexa, set a timer for 10 years. 10 years later.
He
Hey,
on
yo,
it.
Bree.
He on it like SpongeBob, boy. He is on it like SpongeBob. He is on it like SpongeBob. Oh my goodness. Clockwork.
I'm ready.
Hey, like Norbert. Tuesday.
Yo, ain't right.
He be counting that in with Tuesday.
But Lord, we done went all the way left. Back to the friend zone. Yeah, I analyze the
I got a
signs
pen in my chest and I can't breathe.
and know what you're working with. But you know, the biggest thing is, guys, you can't be afraid to shoot your shot if you think she's gonna be friend
What's
zone.
the worst thing that's gonna get told
Right.
to you?
She gonna
It's
tell you.
no.
She can tell you no.
I don't want to fuck. Don't let that shit break your heart.
But now, women, I need y'all to understand that any dude that's shooting a shot don't mean that they just want to fuck.
No, but it's a part of the deal.
I mean,
Is it
eventually,
not?
yeah, the same.
Just like any woman shooting a shot.
Hello.
It's the same.
Women have needs too.
It's the same thing with a
Preach.
car. It's the same thing with a car. You buy a car. You don't necessarily tell them, hey, it need to have gas in it or need to have air in the tires. But did you
Bullshit.
expect it to come with that? That's what you expecting to come. You know,
I don't know where he's buying cars from.
you know. I ain't listen here. But I digress. Yeah, don't be afraid to shoot your shot, fellas.
Never. Don't ever be afraid.
Ladies, if you going to friend zone a person, let them know why. At least give them why. You know, give them why they in the friend zone. You're not attractive. I'm not. You're not my type. You know,
it's not that you're not attractive. It's just that you are not specifically attractive to me.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I don't find you attractive.
You could be somebody else's bread and fucking butter, babe.
But like,
I'm sorry, for me, there is no such thing unless you are butterball ugly, and I mean ugly. Like I'm not even gonna make an offensive comparison because I don't want this podcast to get taken down. But if you were interested in me, and you are not butterball ugly, I'm gonna find a way to make it work. Like, that's just me. And some people are like, you're so like desperate, like you're so thirsty. No. I have a broad horizon. And I understand that if I excommunicate 35% or whatever percent of people because they don't have flat stomachs, or they're not this tall, or they're not this color, or this ethnicity, or whatever would come from this type of family, I'm excommunicating a lot of daggone people. And I would not have found the girlfriend that I currently have, because if I'm living for all kinds of other...
Tinder, please sponsor us.
Yeah, please Tinder sponsor. And Bumble. What up, Bumble?
What up, Bumble? You know.
I like that thing that you're doing where girls have to respond first. I like
that. Please sponsor.
That takes a lot of pressure off me.
It's like, whoo, thank you. Jesus.
You not on no dating sites, are you, Adrian?
Oh. No.
Hey, bro.
No,
now be careful how you answer.
He's too young.
Did you hear what he just said? I don't need no dating site.
He don't. He's cute, y'all.
Like,
even though he's 14.
Them curls.
I got game, you know. I can spit my game.
You know what he looked like?
He's cute though.
You know what he looked like? He looked like a light skinned Giannis.
Light skin's where it's at.
He looked like a light skinned Greek freak.
That's because AJ like white girls, y'all.
That's a big fact.
A lot of people say he looked just like his dad.
Wait, so you a white girl's man too?
I mean, all his kids mix. And no, I go for anything. If you find
There you go.
If
you black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, it don't matter.
You can be purple, yellow.
So y'all, okay, so what this is, y'all gonna shoot y'all shots at me. Do I need to start busting off?
I welcome it.
Hold up. All my WWE fans hitting like Shinsuke Nakamura.
See, first of all, I'm not gonna name no names out here on this podcast.
What are you about to say?
But
what did I just get myself into?
But there are some people out there who know I don't have a type, because they want to categorize me up here. You know, as long as you meet the criteria, I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna try to get into your interior if you smell what the rock is cooking.
Interior design.
Interior design, people. Right. Jesus, pervert.
Property Brothers type thing.
But then you have to ask, why are all his kids mixed? Like, come on now, you gotta think of it. You gotta think about
they were the fortunate.
Horrible.
They were the fortunate three. But
AJ, have you ever had relations with a black woman?
Never.
Whoa. Bill Clinton. Whoa. If I'm
Listen up.
If I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Never?
If I'm being perfectly honest with you. You want me to say never, don't you? I have to talk to you more about it off the air, but yes, I have had relations with multiple races, in fact.
Good to know.
So
he's not racist.
If you would like to see names and pictures and stuff like that, we'll talk after the show.
Not needed.
Okay.
Getting a hook
Speak for yourself, Bree.
But I digress. Since you want to come down on me, let me just drop the bomb on you right quick.
Just let it
on
go.
the host. I don't see you complaining when most of the girls I was with, you was trying to get them too.
Oh.
Bruh.
I can name one off my head.
Shots fired.
Off the top of my head.
No, don't you dare. You know what? I saw it. Y'all ever
naming names.
Y'all ever saw somebody with a look in their eyes? It's like, don't play with me. Adrian just gave me that look like, boy, you know who I'm talking about.
Shut your mouth.
And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You do know too much.
Before this podcast gets out of control and we get kicked off the air permanently. Let me ask this question about the topic right quick. So, we've established that it's okay to be friend-zoned and stuff like that, whatever.
He said zoned it, y'all.
This man has been making up words every podcast we don't record.
Hashtag zoned.
Zoned it.
When you get friend-zoned, here's the thing I don't understand. Because, again, as the host of the show finds it hard to believe, yes, I do get friend-zoned too. And I just want one particular person to let me out.
Unbelievable.
And just let me give her the Beats by A.
Sorry, that was funny.
Please take that part out.
How many bars you got, Beats by A?
Please take that.
This Negro said
to the bedroom.
Beats by A.
I got to go.
How many? What's your BPM?
I got to go. I do everything 100.
Per minute.
I do.
To know.
I do everything 100. I keep it at 100. But that's a lot.
What if she need 120?
That's a lot. Well, you know what? I'm just not the one from her. That's why I'm in the friend zone.
Call Christopher Allen.
That's why I'm in the friend zone. But
friend zone.
No. So after you get friend zoned, or put in the friend zone for proper English people.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is why is it that these friends whom friend zoned you don't help you to get somebody?
Because we on our own agenda to not be friend zoned.
But I'm saying, if you friend zone somebody, listen, it's a difference between, hey, listen, you a good guy or you a good girl, and I know you're going to make somebody happy, but, for X, Y, and Z reason, it's just not going to be me. However,
it's not our job to hook you up.
However, you're my friend.
And?
So why can't you help me? If you see
who the fuck have either one of you hooked me up with?
You're Bree. You don't
beat
need
me.
nobody help.
You beat me to one. I could have helped you with one, but you beat me to one.
Well,
you beat me to one, man. You know who I'm talking about.
Hashtag Kyrie Irving.
Hashtag we'll talk after the show.
I remember that phone call now. I had to think about it.
But it was why? What is wrong with the friend who friend zoned? Like, hey, well, listen, it might not be me, but let me. Here, this person over here been having some bad luck. Yep. Try them out.
I have literally had a friend of mine who met the girlfriend that I'm with now. She's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, incredible girl. And I'm so glad I found her. I say
love her to pieces.
I say that because my birthday's coming up and I want nice gifts. Anyway, so wonderful girl. This friend of mine had the audacity to look me in my actual face and say, look, Chris, can I talk to you? And I'm like, what's up? She's like, you can do better than that. And I'm like, baby, what does that mean? Baby. And I got mad. I was drinking, I was a couple, Jameson and Gingers in. And so I was like, well, I don't see you offering yourself or anyone to do better. So can you kindly please, screw off? Like, that upset me. Like, that's not okay. No, that's not okay. What do you think? Like,
I think.
Am I wrong for being upset by that?
No, you are not wrong at all for being upset by that because
you're wrong as hell, Chris. I know what you wanted to hear. You're wrong as hell. You should never said that.
Shut up, okay?
Dick. Edit that part out.
I really think that the reasoning behind, and I don't know this person from Jane that he is speaking of. The reason that I think that people are just so apt to just vomit their opinions when you are happy, it's because they are not happy within themselves and they're jealous of your happiness. B, they know that you may have in fact taken your shot at them and they think they are better than the person that you're currently happy with. And I'm going to take it right back to the first reason. They are not fucking happy. So they feel the need to just exude their opinion that, you know what, Chris, you can do better because they'd rather see you trying for something more than what you've got than being happy with what you've got and building on it. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm a single woman, and sometimes I get bitter, sometimes I get petty, sometimes I get jealous. But I am adult enough to know to stifle it, appreciate that a really good friend of mine is happy, is thriving, is building. And if you don't want to support that, then you should have told that motherfucker to fuck off instead of putting them in the friend zone.
Hello.
Hallelujah.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about right there.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That is beautiful, and
I'm proud of that.
it's most certainly appreciated. Yeah, the friend zone.
Y'all, they speechless.
Yeah, I kind of got lost for a second. Let me get back.
It's all good.
Let me get back.
Come on back.
Friend zone. Here we go. Friend zone. If you got a friend that's in the friend zone, as long as that message is clear to them, fellas, don't take no offense to it. Honestly, truth be told, Chris likes to call me the king of the friend zone because I always manage to, find my way out like a jigsaw puzzle. But don't be scared of that no. Don't be scared of that no. Take that as a lesson. Don't take it as an L. Take a lesson and move on. If you want to continue to shoot your shot with that one, hell, a few weeks, a few months down the road, they may change their mind. So
persistence.
You might want to stay in that friend zone for a little bit if you don't get them at first. You might want to
friend zone is better than no zone.
And that makes a lot of sense. And the thing is, that actually segues into what will be a future podcast, which is the topic of what is more effective in pursuing a mate, persistence or patience. And I know we all have our own opinions on that. Woo. And that's something that we'll definitely explore at a later podcast. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Unbounded.
Much love.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you.
Please
find us some sponsors.
Bojangles. Huggies.
Love.
We will also take depends, Hashtag old money, still new money.
Any beer sponsors, please hit us up.
Please hit us up. Any beer sponsors.
We like all the alcohols.
Wine.
Belvedere, where you at?
Clearly they need sponsors.
We need sponsors. Bad.
Hello. I appreciate you turning in, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to Unbounded. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our channel on YouTube for more content like behind-the-scenes footage and vlogs. If you, like us, live your life with no chains, no rules, and no safe words, then we invite you to join us as a proud supporter of the show. Thanks again for listening.